Hello and welcome to Losing the 50. Yes, before you come for us in the comments, it's been a long time. We apologize.
It's a reunion
back
episode.
We got a lot to catch up on.
We finally found the password.
Yeah,
We can't.
yeah. That's the excuse. Yeah. But yeah, it's gonna be a long episode. Gonna try to get back into the swing of things. I'm joined with my fellow co-host, Average Gamer and Shanaha.
Hello.
Yo.
Perfect.
So in the episode, we will be covering. So because we haven't got together in a while, we're going to start with the stuff that's more hype and more recent. So we're going to talk about 2.1, which is obviously right around the corner, and Yuzuha, who is currently in the content creator beta server. So essentially, we can talk about it pretty openly. Shanaha, I believe you played her. Am I right?
Nope.
No. Oh, okay. Well, we can still talk about it. And then we can backtrack a little bit and talk about our general feelings on season 2 and the characters that we had over there, Fufu and Yixuan. I don't know why my brain is going so blank. And that's the plan. So, guys, should we get into it? Do we want to start with Yuzuha or like 2.1 hype? What do we think?
I think 2.1 in general, because it's not just Yuzuha.
Yeah, no,
Let's not forget that there's also Miyabi as well. Like, that's also quite a big thing.
Oh, in terms of the upcoming banners, yeah.
Yeah, not just Yuzuha.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely true. I mean, should people still be pulling Miyabi, though?
The Void
If they don't have her yet.
She's the Void Hunter.
The Void Hunter. I mean, still the strongest DPS in the game. I think she's a great pickup for new players, especially.
Yeah, I don't think I can really argue with that. She is still the storm that is approaching. Yeah, I'm going to use that in my video.
Well, so are we going to start with the banners, or are we starting with Yuzuha?
Oh, I don't really know. Yeah,
because the content creators.
I feel like Miyabi has been talked to death over the past. Like, I don't think we need to glaze her even more than she is already. So I feel like we can move past Miyabi. Like, if you don't have her, get her. That's it. And we can focus on Yuzuha instead. For the people that like may already have Miyabi already, it's like, well, but I have Astra already. What about Yuzuha now?
I think just to come back to Miyabi just a little bit, like I think there will be players who joined maybe because of season 2. Season 2 was pretty hyped. They gave a lot of stuff away. They got new players in. Yixuan, super hype character as well. I think there might be players coming into 2.1 looking at Miyabi being like, oh, yeah, she was super hyped. Maybe I should pick her up now. And I don't know if that would always be the right call, I guess. She's great. She's still the best DPS in the game, but it kind of depends on what you want to do, because every character costs the same in terms of like your potential amount of pulls. And if you've already lent into Anomaly a little bit, I mean, I guess if you started in season 2, you wouldn't really have had that much of an opportunity. But maybe if you started in like 1.7 or something, you might already have, a pretty decent Anomaly setup, and then maybe you would prefer to pull Yuzuha instead. I guess is what I'm saying.
I think so lately on my streams, I've had a lot of like relatively new players, whether it was 2.0 or maybe they started at 1.6 or 1.7, asking like, is Miyabi the right play for them? And I think to most of them I said yes, and there was a couple I said no. And I think the couple I said both were very similar situations where they had already picked up Hugo, and now that we know that they're not going to no longer neglect physical, I think a lot of the double Ice Week sides in Shiyu that were very prevalent for a very long time and or should I say, happened very often in Shiyu and Deadly Assault, like the double Ice Week for DA and Shiyu, I think those are going to start happening a lot less often. And they were missing a lot of support, and they were actually interested in characters that I think Yuzuha could support very, very well. Because for people who don't know, Sokaku and Astra are both better for Miyabi still than Yuzuha. Yuzuha still works great with Miyabi.
Yeah, of course.
But Sokaku and Astra are both better still for Miyabi. So if you're actually looking more into like anomaly characters and you already have a good ice DPS, there is a possibility that you can actually confidently say that you can skip Miyabi. I think that's very few players, but those few players do exist. And yeah, I know for one guy, for a fact, He had picked up Jane Doe. He had just started the game. He had just picked up Jane Doe in her rerun. He picked up Hugo. He has Astra. He wants to know, should he pull Miyabi? And I said, do you like your Jane Doe? He said he loves his Jane Doe. He wants the best for his Jane. I think Yuzuha's the better play. Maybe he could still go for Miyabi if he has enough primos left over. Not primos. Polychrome left over.
Primos.
Primo, what the heck? There's an imposter among us.
In that guy's specific situation, his Hugo's, he said his Hugo's hitting 50 plus K on DA Ice Week, like Marionette, for example. His Hugo's doing well in Shiyu. He wants his Jane to get stronger. I think Yuzuha's the better play.
Yeah, and it's that kind of like exact situation that I was talking about, where it's like, well, like if you like Miyabi, then sure, pull for her. But then if you have like another anomaly character that you would rather play more, maybe if the polychrome might not stretch to 2 characters in the first half, which is pretty normal. I don't think most characters would pull both characters in one half. Then yeah, maybe Yuzuha might be the better play. And I think we're talking about this quite a lot, but I think for most players, they would probably prioritize Miyabi because you can run her with a very low cost, low investment team. You can get Lycan for free from the selector that's going on right now, or from the 300 selector when you finally hit 300 on the standard pulls. And then you get Sukaku for free when you start Shield defense. Like, you don't even have to pull anyone else, and you're going to end up with Miyabi's best team. So I think from a low investment perspective, if you're super, super new, it makes sense to pull for Miyabi. But I think if you have other anomaly characters, maybe, as you said, Kete, picking up Jane on the rerun, maybe you have like a Jane Bernice core, and then you didn't get Astra, then it would be like, oh, okay, well, yeah, that's really going to lift that team. So yeah, I think it's not always the right play to pull Miyabi, but I think for most players, they should definitely consider one or the other of Yuzuha and Miyabi, because like they do both feel like extremely strong characters from what we're seeing about Yuzuha so far. And I guess we're kind of segueing a little bit into Yuzuha chat, which is where Shanaha wanted to take us earlier. So Shanaha, let's start with you. What do you think about Yuzuha?
I think like so again, like assuming that you don't need Miyabi, right? I think it's almost like a must. I don't want to say a must pull.
We don't use that term here. We don't use that term. Yeah.
But if you are in the mindset of like, oh man, like you said, I want, especially, I'm glad that you bring up Jane specifically. Like, there's a lot of people that are concerned, maybe, I guess, about like, oh, but Alice is now gonna like, quote unquote, power creep Jane. Well, you don't have to pull Alice or whatever. And all of these older anomaly agents, so like Bernice, like Vivian, like I guess Yanagi as well, who's gonna get a rerun, Jane as well. Like suddenly, they're gonna become a lot more like on par with Alice and them if you have Yuzuha. But again, like that's assuming that you have them, right? Like there's no point getting Yuzuha because, oh, yeah, she's super strong, she buffs everything, but you don't have anything to buff, right? So if you have like an anomaly team, which is probably people that have been playing for a while, like, either from 1.1 with Jane or from the rerun, then Yuzuha's pretty good, it looks like.
Yeah.
More so than like Miyabi, because I don't know. There's just something in the back of my mind that says they're gonna do something that like they've tried it already with the Miasma Priest in 2.0, but they're trying to like make anti-Miyabi stuff, right?
Yeah.
So like Kete mentioned as well, like there's not double ice weakness and stuff like that. Who know? And maybe we get more enemies. I think they did mention that there are 2 new enemies in 2.1. Maybe they're resistant to ice. Maybe they also have like anti-Miyabi tactics or whatever. So maybe then you can still get Yuzuha instead.
On the note of the boss shilling though, I do think it wouldn't be too crazy for us to see 2 Ice Week bosses on the next DA rotation, simply because Miyabi is rerunning. But then
even right now, Deadly Assault has just refreshed, and then one of the buffs is it buffs Ether and Ice.
Yeah.
For the first year of the game, it was like kind of like really relevant to have 2 strong ice DPS, or like one ice and one ether, because there was just so many times where Shiyu would be double ice or / ether week, or Deadly Assault would be double ice week. It was just so many times. I do agree with you that it probably will have double ice again during Miyabi's banner sometime.
Yeah.
Because she is on banner, but I do think now that we know that they're finally giving physical some love, that we will see double ice week a lot less than we did the first year.
Yeah, because if we're getting a physical week, have we ever had a physical week DA boss? I don't.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Nope.
Yeah.
I don't think that is there a boss that is weak to physical, like a big one.
In Shiyu, yes, there's a few.
Yeah, but like in Deadly Assault, there's none.
No, there's never been one for Deadly Assault till now.
Yeah, and I think you're right. Like as we get when we get a physical boss, and then potentially more bosses moving forward, it kind of made sense, as you said, Kete, for us to have 2 ice week bosses because we had 3 ice DPSs throughout season 1, limited ice DPSs. So it did kind of make sense for us to have a lot of ice weakness. But now, hopefully we're spreading out a little bit of that weakness. We bring a physical weak boss in. In theory, probably less ice weakness going forwards, and you won't need 2. But with that said, I wouldn't be too surprised if during Miyabi's banner we end up with 2 ice.
I will say though, what is interesting, like I know we're comparing ice and physical, right? Because ice, Miyabi, physical, Yuzuha and Alice. Technically speaking, Yuzuha, like I called her an anomaly support, not like a physical support. Because remember, her whole gimmick is that she can do whatever element you need. So that's also another big selling point. Like
she's the avatar.
This big argument we're having about like, this character becomes, I don't want to say meta or not, but like they have ebbs and flows of when they become better or not based on what the bosses are. Like, if there's a physical weak boss, suddenly Jane gets really good. If there's a physical resistance boss, suddenly Jane gets really worse. I wouldn't say bad, but she gets not as good. Yuzuha can sort of like ignore all of this, right? Yeah. It's a fire weak boss. It's again depends on if you have Bernice or other fire agents to accompany it, but then you just slot her in literally anywhere and she'll adapt.
True.
Yeah. 100%.
I think that's what massively increases her value. But I think the way we're talking about it is more along the lines of like, because we're getting Alice, we should be getting a physical weak boss. Have they announced that they were getting a physical weak boss?
Well, but it's 2 bosses. I don't know. We don't know.
We don't know their elements. Okay.
Yeah, right. We just know that there are 2 bosses coming in.
Yeah. So hopefully, one of them is physical weak, and then that gives us different resistances and stuff. Something to also mention while we're talking about DA bosses, I guess this is a little bit of an aside, is that it's not just the resistances and the weakness; it's also like the mechanics of how you play against it as well. So as much as you could have a cracked out ice DPS team, if you're playing it against Bringer, who is an anomaly boss, sometimes it's just not going to be enough, even though it would be more than enough for marionettes. You could have a Hugo team that's hitting 30, 40k on marionettes and then struggling to 20k on Bringer, just because it's tough for Hugo to break the hand to get the extra 2k. And he just responds really well to pissing him off with anomaly. So that's also something to mention.
Skill issue. I killed it easily. One tapped it.
Tap that shit.
I actually think it's really funny because that's pretty much like there's two reasons why Hugo struggles against Bringer, but by far the biggest one is because of the hand. And I have mad respect for the Hugo mains. Like I don't know if you guys like keep up with it, but like Hugo mains, like they've been coming up with like a lot of creative ways to break the hand, and it's actually like super impressive. Like the dedication.
Like I saw an
M0 Hugo with lighter Lycon get like 42k on Bringer. I was like, what the how? I was like, how? And like I saw how he broke the hand. I was like, oh my god, this motherfucker's doing. We're playing checkers. He's playing chess.
That's wild. Did he use anomaly to break it or no? Like what? You know what?
Yeah, he had anomaly mastery on his stunners.
Right. Yep. That's actually awesome. But then he'd have no impact. Okay, that's fine. I mean, if it works, it works.
But it's double stun, so like
it is double stun. Yeah. Okay, that's still a whole lot of stun windows. That's actually awesome.
Yeah. But I think that's great.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. I guess the point I was making is that it's not always like the resistance and weakness that makes the biggest impact. Is because it would probably be harder to clear Bringer with a Hugo team, even though it's ice weak, than it would with 2 anomaly characters that just they don't have any
even if they
weakness
aren't
buff.
Weakness, even if it's like neutral.
Yeah, even if it's as long as it's neutral for them, that's probably an easier team to clear Bringer with, because he just responds really well to to Anomaly.
Mm-hmm. Yuzuha is the avatar.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, true.
But yeah,
She literally is the avatar.
but I guess that's the thing about Yuzuha is she's going to work in any Anomaly team, and that's very cool and exciting. And I kind of can't wait for Yuzuha as Anomaly pilled gamer. So what do we think about Yuzuha investment? Because her engine seems like it's in a pretty good spot.
It's definitely not needed.
Exactly. Yeah.
Which is a good thing.
Kaboom the Cannon and Rena Sig are very good replacements. You won't be able to max out the buff without her Sig. It's literally impossible to max out her buff for
Yeah, because it's based on AM.
on her course. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
it's really impossible.
Can't get enough. Yeah.
But not maxing out the buff is not the end of the world. You will be able to do more than fine without her engine. It's very similar to Astra. I would say Yuzuha's engine's a little bit better than Astra's engine is, but it's still similar in the sense that both of them will still be able to perform well without their engine, which is good.
Yeah, that is good. And I think for their free to play or low spend players, I think that's great news. Is that the limited S rank supports, the two that we've had so far, have got great low investment options so you don't have to pull the engine and you can still make use of the character really, really well. I think that's really good. That's good for the health of the game. But
yeah,
her hair is very shiny.
Yeah, but the glow though.
I'm gonna be real. I was telling Gamer the other day, I was like, bro, fuck power creep. We got hair creep.
Yeah. It looks really cool. And how do we feel about the beach skins?
I think that Hoyo is literally fucking themselves by not putting Yixuan, Jane Doe, Julian, Evelyn.
Where's everybody else's beach skin? Yeah.
Like they're literally losing millions. They'd probably if they put all the fine women and let's give the husbando enjoyers something too. Like they just put every character in a hot ass
and in a bikini for them as well. Yeah,
bro. I'm telling you, they'll make 200 million overnight right then and there. Like they're literally like, dude, Hoyo's choking. They're throwing, bro. Like, what are they doing?
Is it like a break glass in emergency kind of situation when they have to go to like the Zenless Zone Zero dev team? They have to go to the board. They have to present money at all. Sorry, Shadow. Go ahead.
Like, why emergency? Like, I get it saying, did they just not want money like this? It doesn't have to be an emergency. The emergency is we want more money.
Yeah, I know, but like they could save it for a bit, They could build out the roster a little bit, give us some dribs and drabs, make us really, hungry for more skins, and then they could go nuts.
If Hoyo released 5 skins a patch, they'd make so much more money a year.
Actually,
and that's just the god honest truth. Like,
yeah.
Bro, like I don't understand why they're not just releasing a fuck ton of skins every patch.
And honestly, the game that makes the most sense for is Zenless Zone Zero. Yeah. It definitely is. It's the game with the most fan service, and therefore probably the fan base that would be like, oh hell yeah, I'm gonna buy this beach skin for G1. Well,
like have you guys seen the bin mains? They'd be foaming out the mouth.
Shirtless Ben. Speedo lighter.
Bro, have you guys actually seen the bear mains? They're wild. The bear mains are scary.
Imagine.
Yeah, it's like I don't know. Maybe it's like I actually don't know. Like, what could be the excuse? Like, other than them just not wanting to?
I guess devil's advocate. Like, let's say. I mean, it makes sense. Obviously, they have a skin for Yuzuha and Alice because they're coming out. But let's say they make a skin for Jane Doe, like you said. The issue is you would have had to have pulled her back in 1.1 or on the rerun. And so even if they do release a skin right now, technically speaking, like a vast majority, I feel like would be like, well, the skin is cool, but I cannot buy it because I do not have Jane and I don't have a way to get Jane right now. Whereas with Yuzuha and Alice, it's like, well, shit. Well, the banner is up. I may as well try and get her. And then when I get her,
but then they could just release them on the reruns, though.
I got a counter argument.
Yeah.
I got a counter argument. You know how many players bought the Genshin skins when they were on sale because they were like, "Oh my god, that skin's beautiful." As soon as that character's come back, I'm gonna get that character. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the skin while it's on discount.
That is true because the discount thing as well. That's also like the FOMO of like, well, buy it now or else for later.
Yeah, my partner, she had Shenhe's skin for ages, and no Shenhe.
One day,
yeah,
but it's like going and buying a wedding dress before the wedding because like one day.
Wait, but gamer,
yeah,
but gamer, your girlfriend, she bought the skin before she got Shenhe, but that made her foam out the mouth waiting for that Shenhe rerun. And as soon as the Shenhe rerun came, she didn't even hesitate. She hit the wish button.
Yeah, she was like, "I'm not thinking, I'm pulling."
So I'm sorry. Like, I'm sorry. There's no excuse. There's no excuse.
Yeah.
Like they need to make skins. There's no excuse.
Yeah, it's kind of true. I think, I wonder if maybe skins haven't been a huge part of the way that. I mean, surely they know how much they must make loads of money. Make more skins, guys. Anyway,
it does feel like maybe they are like tacking onto it because like obviously back at 1.5 that was like the one time and then there was nothing. But now we've had Yixuan and now also like we've had 2 patches in a row, which I mean it's not a lot, but like it's the potential start of a streak. We'll have to see if like 2.2 also has skins as well. Then we'll know.
You do make a point, though,
Shanaha.
Shanaha. Maybe, it does feel like they're ramping up a little bit. Maybe they are realizing, oh, actually, this is great.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's cool. Okay, so sorry, we sidetracked and talked about skins for ages. Do we want to carry on talking about skins or anything else to say about Yuzuha?
Yuzu. I wonder if she's gonna get a dedicated set. Right now, she has what I saw from the creator server stuff. She has 3 options, and they're all very similar to each other in Astral Voice, Swing Jazz, and Proto Punk. Right now, it kind of just seems like if you don't care, just run the best one you have. I actually wonder if she's going to get a dedicated set like Astra Yao did.
Yeah, like in 2.2 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's normally every other patch, right? So we got a new set in 2.0. So yeah, 2.2, we might see a new set. I have seen, just on that note, I have been seeing that there are some CN players that are playing 2.2.2.
Yes. Just because of substats,
yeah.
honestly.
Well, I feel like I might end up doing that just from a substat perspective and not having to farm any more discs, if I'm totally honest.
Yep.
And then also, you just don't have to worry about buff uptime at all. So that's also
true. Yeah.
Yeah, that's also pretty chill. Like discs.
I don't know. Maybe she'll get a new set in 2.2. I'm curious if she will.
I mean, remember everyone was saying that about Evelyn, and that was like 1.5. Evelyn still.
The closest thing would be like maybe there is it'd be crazy to say another like anomaly agent that comes out in 2.2 or maybe like later on down the line that just so happens to have similar types of mechanics, because the one scenario of a character getting a quote unquote like best in slot disc set after they had already been released would be Harumasa, I feel like, right, where Harumasa came out and like bro got shafted. They're like, oh, 2 brand new disc sets, one for Astra, not even in the game yet, one for Miyabi. Harumasa, and then fast forward a few patches, and then Soldier Anby comes up with Shadow Harmony, and that was like, okay, clearly it's made for Soldier Anby, but I mean, now there's something better for Harumasa at least. So I feel like, if there is something for Yuzuha, since it's not like coming up alongside her, it'll probably be like a different agent that it's made for, but it just happens to play nicely with Yuzuha.
I like how you say it's better. All the try-hard horror mains tell me it's trash.
Well, but the try-hard mains, like the actual people who are playing Haru like normally,
it's a good set for if you're like not sweating, it's a good set.
Yeah, I think to be fair, like people that sweat Harumasa are like, damn, on another level, because like the amount of effort you have to put in, like it goes beyond anything else, really.
Yeah,
Harumasa.
I feel like I might have been misremembering this, but I'm sure I saw a video where R2 was talking about his new set. Obviously, it was a while ago now. And
he said it was the worst.
No, but he said that over like a 3-minute DA run, because he doesn't have to worry about buff uptime and stuff. It's way more consistent. So most people should be using it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like
it's
normal
not the highest
people,
performance.
Normal players should use Shadow Harmony.
That's the strength of it, right? It's consistency.
Yeah. So
it's perfectly fine.
but yeah, back to Yuzuha. No dedicated disc set, but she's got a few different options. I don't really think you can go too
All very
far.
good as well.
Yeah, I don't think you can go too far wrong as long as you're running two-piece Phaeton's Melody and then pick a set. What have you got? I think you'd be okay. Any other Yuzuha thoughts?
Well, yes, she's actually a good crit support. She, like,
Oh
she's
yeah,
not
let's talk
bad with,
about it.
She's not bad with crit agents at all. Like, yeah, she's not as good as Astra, but she's definitely better than Lucy. So,
Well, if you think about it, Lucy's been being used for a long time because she does the job, but her max attack buff is like 600 plus a small crit damage buff as well. So it's not that much. Whereas then you throw in Yuzuha, who's going to provide a 1200 attack buff, and is it 15% damage bonus? Or
yeah, 15 damage bonus.
Yeah.
It's, so that's
Astra,
so that's ignoring the anomaly stuff. It's going to be a lot better than Lucy.
Yeah, and she can also run Kaboom the Cannon just like Lucy, and she can also run a support set that also buffs. So like, a lot of people aren't talking about it. Like, you can, like, I'm not saying you should, but what I am saying is, if you for some reason were stuck between a rock and a hard place, and you really needed a fucking support for your crit team, and your Yuzuha was open for some reason, I would use her. She will get the job done.
Yeah, like for example, like you said, maybe your other team is like the mono ice team. You don't have Astra, and then you're running like Evelyn on that third team or something. On that second team or something. That it would make sense to be like, well, fuck Lucy. Let's just drop Yuzuha in here.
By the way, I'm not trying to shit on Lucy.
True.
I like Lucy's good. I'm not trying to shit on her, but from what I've seen, like people's testing of Yuzuha and crit team, she still does a very good job. You would obviously run attack or energy recharge on the 6th slot if she's on a crit team, but I do like that flexibility. So is kind of similar to Astra Yao. Like, Astra before Yuzuha came out, you were using Astra for anomaly and attack agents.
Yeah.
And I just think that's cool that if for some weird reason you did need to use Yuzuha on a crit team, she will perform perfectly fucking fine. And I think that's a good thing.
I think that's a great thing. Yeah. It means that not only can Astra flex into anomaly, it means Yuzuha can flex into crit-based attacker-based teams.
Yes.
It's great. Yeah.
Yes.
Each of them is ideal in their own specific side, but the fact that they can both flex into those teams, I think that's really good for the future health of the game. Also for newer players who may not have Astra, picking up Yuzuha's, but it's almost a no-brainer. Even if you're like, oh, I might get an anomaly team at some point. I've got like one anomaly character. I might get another one at some point. But for now, it's going to be a huge upgrade over Lucy in this team, and that's true, and that would be good.
Yeah, and also, from what I'm seeing, Yuzuha, if built well enough, does about double the damage of Astra, like her personal damage.
Yeah, because Astra just does nothing.
So that's another thing to take into account. So yeah, she's just a good character, man. Very good character. She saw it. She's flexible. She's just very good.
Was it like 2 more days? 3 more days?
I'm on the game. I'm on the game right now. So 3 days and 6 hours. For wait, no, because
it's new patch, so it'll be the same time for everyone.
Yeah, it'll be same for everybody.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's a new patch. It's not the half patch, isn't it? Yeah, the half patch is.
Yeah, it'll all be synced at the same time.
Shit. I mean, that's fine. So yeah, we're all looking forward to Yuzuha. I feel like are we all pulling for Yuzuha? Because I know sometimes some of us do tend to skip characters. Because Kete as well. Let's talk about you and your account. I mean, how many anomaly characters do you have?
I will soon have one in Alice because I'm pulling Yuzuha and Alice.
Oh, okay. So you're planning ahead, right? Makes sense.
Mm-hmm. I'll probably end up pulling Yanagi too if I don't have a teammate for Alice.
Yeah, that's. I mean, she'll fill that hole.
Yeah.
I was kind of waiting for someone to make a joke because I said she'll
nice
fill that hole. But
I think 2.1 is a nice patch because of like, as we're saying now with Miyabi, and now like Kete mentions Yuzuha, Jane, Alice, or Yuzuha, Alice, and Yanagi. Like, it's a very like you can get everything in this patch. It's not like get lighter and then hope that you get Hugo and clairvoyance, find out that Hugo comes out like 6 months down the line. Here it's like, oh well, get Miyabi by itself. There's like honestly like a full team here, and then also not only is Alice and Yuzuha obviously going to work together, but then hey, well, there's also Yanagi as well. Like you can get the full package all in one patch.
Yeah, it's pretty great. It's pretty great. What about you, Shanna? What are your thoughts for 2.1?
So I've got like at current, I have like enough for one S rank. I've got like 90-ish pulls. So I have to get lucky with the 50-50 essentially, which I'm not confident about.
Hey, that's good stream content, man. You go.
I'll probably try because I am just like you, gamer. I'm like very anomaly pulled. And the nice thing is that I know for a fact, no matter what, get her or not, I'm not going to be pulling for Alice because, well, I say this now, but like I'm probably not going to be pulling for Alice because like I have Jane already, so that's chilled. And then also, there's always the thought about, well, what happens, depending on who shows up in 2.2, But yeah, I'll probably pull Alice. I'll probably pull Yuzuha, skip Alice, and then hope for the best.
Okay, totally fair. I think I think I'm going to be pulling Yuzuha, and I'm almost definitely not pulling anyone else this patch. I may get Yanagi's engine because I really like Yanagi. But we kind of might see how many pulls we're sitting on and what happens with 2.2, which is, I think it's a really good opportunity for us to bring up the fact that the drip marketing keeps happening after the patch goes live. So if you're not 100% sold on Yuzuha from, just you're going to pull her anyway, it doesn't matter who's getting dripped in 2.2, then it's probably smart to wait a few days until we get drip marketing for 2.2. In terms of the characters that it could potentially be in 2.2, I mean, obviously we don't know at this point, but there were a couple of other characters in the 2.0 trailer that we haven't seen yet, and we have seen in game, like Orphe, and then we haven't seen Seed in game yet. So could be Orphe and Seed, could be the buff guy, I forget his name. Yeah. The other guy from Spook Shack. What was his name again?
Kimono Monoto, aka the man whose chest is wider than my ambitions in life, according to one Russian commenter on HoYoLab, which I still find incredibly funny.
That is very funny. But yeah, so if one of those kind of sounds a little bit more exciting to you, then yeah, maybe just waiting a few days into the patch is probably the right play. But yeah, for me, picking up Yuzuha, I think pretty safely gonna skip her engine. I'll ask you what you're gonna do about the engine in a second, Kete, because I'm wondering if you might invest a little bit more into Yuzuha, because her M2 is apparently absolutely cracked, but we'll talk about that in a second. And then, yeah, potentially Yanagi engine. Maybe Alice engine? If I don't, we'll see.
Or, yeah, just the engine for somebody else.
Yeah, maybe. If it works with Jane, maybe. We'll see. Kete, what about you? What are you thinking? We already said you're going to pull Yuzuha, maybe Alice, but yeah, so, like investment into Yuzuha, because you do sometimes invest. Let's put it that way.
Sometimes. I've said this on a past podcast. I can't stand it when my character's hair is not glowing.
The last podcast, aka a millennia ago.
I can't stand it when their hair doesn't glow.
I said one of our podcasts in the past. Yeah, I can't stand it when my character's hair is not glowing, so I kind of am forced to pull engines every time I pull Azerite because the OCD would just kill me.
Right. Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, I just like because the fact that like I could understand if like it's you only pull the engine every now and then, but I could just tell it'd piss Kete off if every single agent has their glowy hair except the one.
He'd just be like, nah, I have to get it. Yep, the A rank options are perfectly fine. Was it like a 10 to 15% diff in a disorder team? Less than that if you run her in like a crit based team. But yeah, get engine. Okay, what about Mindscapes? Because yeah, from what we're seeing from the content creator beta server, the M1 looks okay and the M2 looks really, really good.
The M1 is just very standard M1 amongst supports. Like it seems like they keep giving every stun and support the same M1 in terms of team damage increase.
Yeah.
It's usually like always 15%. Yeah, it's like it seems like every single stun and supports M1 is like pretty much always 15, 16%, something like that. Yuzuha's M2 it's kind of overloaded. I don't know how broken it actually is, but like it just does a lot of things. Okay, so like so let me go over it. here I broke it down in like simpler terms. It basically gives a swing jazz buff, so the 15% damage bonus. It's basically 100% uptime. It's basically a freedom blues buff, 100% uptime. It gives chains outside of stun, like Astra's ult, but it doesn't happen often. It's like once every, I think, 20 seconds. She gets free chains to the team.
I'd say that's not fairly often enough in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah, it's still pretty.
Yeah, it's still not bad. Especially for DA. And also triggers M1 has a thing where it reduces the time it takes for her to do another aftershock, because there's a cooldown on aftershocks. Triggers M1 makes it where that cooldown is reduced, so she does more aftershocks.
Interesting.
Yuzuha's M2 does the same thing. So it's like a swing jazz buff, freedom blues buff, chain attacks outside of stun, and triggers, and half a triggers M1 and one mindscape. And I'm like, that's a lot.
That does sound like a lot.
What for one mindscape? That's a lot. In the grand scheme of things, I actually don't know how much of an actual team DPS increase that is. Maybe it's not as crazy as it sounds, but it just seems like that mindscape does a lot.
Yeah.
I just it seems a little overloaded, but maybe it's not as like crazy as it sounds. I just don't know numbers yet.
I guess those additional chain attacks mean that you probably want to run swing jazz as well, because then you have even more buff up time on swing jazz, right?
Well, she's giving the chains to her teammates.
Oh, she doesn't do them herself.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
So yeah, I just thought that was interesting that her M2 did that many things when Astriao's M2 is just more attack.
You want more attack?
I
heard you like attack.
It makes her attack buff go to 1600 instead of 1200, and it technically makes her do more tremolos, which is her
attack,
off field attack.
Off field attack, but not off struck. Just want to point out.
yeah, but like that's all it does. I'm not saying it's a bad mindscape, but compared to Yuzuha's M2, it just, I don't know. Again, I think I'm more like just shocked at how many things Yuzuha's M2 does.
Yeah.
But again, maybe it's not that insane of a damage increase, but maybe it is. I'd have to wait for the numbers. I haven't seen M2 numbers yet.
Actually, yeah, I don't think I have either. Yeah.
I've only saw M1.
Maybe I skim that part if I watch some guides, because I don't normally think about it. But then, yeah, genuinely, it was just because we were talking about it offline the other day, Kete, and I was like, oh my god, no, that is a lot of stuff. So I thought I'd bring it up here. So yeah, that's crazy. Crazy. So you're going to get the engine and you might get up to M2, or what are you saying? Stop at M0?
Oh, no, for first 2 days is going to be M0.
Yeah.
I just want to play around with her at M0 for a while, and then after that, I'll make up my mind before Banner leaves.
Yeah, that makes sense. Fair play.
I think I'll actually make up my mind when I get to try Vani's, because Vani's going to let me try his, because he's going to get M6 Yuzuha. He said he'll let me try his M6 on stream. So
nice.
Probably make up my mind there.
Okay, that's fair. Okay, so are you ready, guys? Should we wind the clock back and talk about season 2, the 2.0 patch? Because we completely missed it.
Yeah.
So I guess the question is, because we haven't talked about this as a 3, how do we feel about Yixuan?
She's great. I do think she is the second best DPS in the game, but like I was telling you in my chat, a lot of that might be because of how hard she's been shielded. Like all the buffs are shielding her, the content is shielding her. I want to see how strong she is when the shield isn't as heavy, when the buffs aren't as in her favor.
Yeah,
I want to see how strong she is. Yeah. Could she still be the second best then? Maybe. But I do think there's a chance that a character such as Yanagi, for example, could be better slightly than Yixuan if the buffs aren't in her favor. But as long as the buffs are in her favor right now, I do think she is the second best DPS in the game. But I am curious to see what she's going to look like without the buffs being so heavily in her favor.
Yeah, I kind of agree. and I also kind of don't think it's a question mark though that she's the second best DPS. I would like to see. I agree with you. I think that her damage is probably going to fall off quite a bit when the buffs aren't necessarily in her favor. But I don't necessarily think it's going to bring her down to, the normal DPS tier. I don't think it will quite bring her down to that level. I think that she'll still be a cut above, but maybe just not quite Miyabi level. But yeah, I guess we're on a very similar train of thought though. Shanaha, what about you? How do you feel about Yixuan?
Yeah, I mean, why do I go last? Now I'm just gonna sound like I'm copying you guys, but no, like I think it's similar. But I think the way I would address it is that regardless of all the shilling and stuff, like obviously, yeah, she is gonna be seem really good. Very clearly, she's not as good as Miyabi, but I think not just from like a DPS standpoint. I think another reason why Yanagi's probably like the second best DPS, not in terms of just numbers, is that she's similar to Miyabi in that she's very like self-sufficient, if I can put it like that, where like we said, you pull Miyabi, you've pretty much got like most of the team sorted, right? You pull Yixuan, you pretty much have like most of the team sorted. Compare that to say Hugo. Well, do you have Lycan and Lighter as well? Let's say you pull Bernice. Well, do you have a good on-field anomaly to go with her, right? So I think Yixuan is great in that, you get her and you got her. You've got your DPS. There's no like asterisk of, well, she gets better with this,
Yeah, super low.
Obviously, she does get better with other stuff, but like you've got a good DPS from one pull, one character alone, which I think is really, really valuable. But coming back to the whole, the shilling and stuff, what I'm very curious about is, I would like to think that the direct shilling of for Yixuan, like in terms of not just rupture, but like in terms of there's also the ether damage increase, there's also the max HP increase, there's all this other stuff. I'm assuming that we are going to get like more rupture agents down the line. So it's not just Yixuan shilling. I'm sure we'll get like general like rupture shilling later down the line, which will make her relevant again later on. So it's just a matter of time that I want to find out, when do we get to that point where rupture is common enough that it doesn't seem like Yixuan shilling and it's just rupture shilling, and then Yixuan just looks like the best for that. Similar to how we can say it's Miyabi shilling, but it's like it just happens to be it's anomaly shilling with ice, and Miyabi just happens to be the best for that.
Yeah.
I don't know if every rupture is gonna. I don't know if every rupture is gonna scale for HP because
exactly. That's why I was like, that's why I'm curious. Like the direct buff for Yixuan is scale of max HP increase in deadly assault, but maybe there are the miasma shield. That's like the good example I think of like rupture shilling where anyone could be good. So not necessarily Yixuan by herself. Any, technically speaking, future rupture agents that do come out.
Yeah, because they'll have the sheer mechanic.
Yeah.
Because
go on.
What the other rupture agent engines? What are attack percent, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Little like puzzle ball thing.
I am curious. We'll come back to Yixuan in a moment, but I guess I'm tangenting again. How do we think they're gonna make rupture more? What's the word? How do you think we're gonna get more rupture? Do you think it's only gonna come in the form of limited S ranks? Do you think there's a chance we get an A rank rupture? Could there be a DPS? Yeah.
I hope that it's not limited to like limiteds, because that just sounds like horrible. Because there will come a time where you will need a rupture agent because of how buffed something is, and then it's like, well, you would like to have an alternative, but now you'll be forced to pull for whatever the limited is at that point in time, which I hope never happens and we never get to that point.
So do we think there's a potential that we get a character added to the standard pool, or like for an S rank, or
like an A rank or something?
Yeah, or do we think that we get an A rank? And if we get an A rank as a DPS, do we think that they'll be good enough to clear that specific content?
Well, I think anything is good enough right now, man. Like I'm seeing M0 of every character because I'm so heavily into speedruns, and like when I'm looking at like different tiers of speedruns, you have like your whale speedruns, and you have like your dolphin speedruns, and then you have your M0 speedruns. Like when I'm looking like at M0 stuff, yeah, they have like perfect disc and stuff, but like the teams are still M0 and they're doing, I'm seeing like Anton, Nekomata. Like there was a Neko that got 58 seconds against Razor, all M0.
I guess that's why I bring up the question, because the only other analog that we have for A rank DPSs is like Anton. And as much as people can clear with Anton, it's not easy.
You have to put in a lot of effort for it. Yeah. It's not as simple as just go and get a clear with Anton, you know. It's
I'll just go clear with Anton.
go and get the
yeah,
perfect
easy.
discs, go and get, you know, all that stuff.
Wait, let me correct myself. I'm sorry, I just looked it up. It was 1 minute and 8 seconds, not 58, but still good.
What was that, Anton?
No, with Neko,
Oh, okay.
but Neko
I mean, it's
is
still
basically
Neko.
an A rank.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's Nikomon. So like, I mean,
That's still really impressive, yeah.
But dude, I think the supports are just so strong in this game. Like anything can clear, bro. Anything can work if you have a good enough investment. Anything just works.
Well, it's a good thing that we're not getting another limited S rank support anytime soon.
That is I actually wanted to talk about that.
Hmm.
We got the attack support now because, like, yes, Astrial works very well with Anomaly too, but she definitely works just in terms of like her overall buffs. Her buffs are slightly better for attack agents, and then now we got Yuzuha, who's Anomaly.
Yep.
What is the next limited to support gonna do?
Imagine this: Stun the 7th. I think you know where I'm going. What if it's a stun buff agent and they buff stunners in a way that can turn them into DPSs? That would be fucking awesome.
That would be just so weird, though.
It would, yeah. I mean, chances are that they're gonna wait for a bit of time, and then, yeah, it's kind of like Shanaha said earlier. Like maybe when we get enough rupture, that's when we get a rupture support. Because if we think about it, like,
yeah.
realistically,
oh yeah.
if we get another attack-based support character, it would probably just be realistically they can't make them better than Astra unless it's quite a long way down the line. And if we get another anomaly one, I don't know. Like either way, it just doesn't feel right because we have these two supports who are a lot better than their A rank equivalents because we've already talked about the fact that Yuzuha is going to be a lot better than Lucy in like a crit based team. And yeah, I don't know. I can't see us getting another Astra or another Yuzuha in terms of like an attack-based one or an anomaly-based one. So I guess it's once we have enough rupture agents that it feels viable to have a rupture support.
I think a limited rupture support is actually very possible. I do think that.
I agree.
Like they could literally just make Panyan who, but S rank.
Mm-hmm. I think it's a way off though.
Yeah.
Watch them announce it. Watch
like...
them fucking drip market it. Okay. But yeah, I think the reason why I think it's a way off, and then you can pick me apart if you want, but the reason why I think it's a way off is because yes, Yixuan very popular, but there's also going to be some people who didn't pick up Yixuan, and I think what they did with Anomaly is they waited till we have how many Anomaly characters do we got? Like 8, 10? I don't even know. But there's enough Anomaly characters in the game that everyone's got at least one for free because you have Piper, and then you also have like a couple of other ones too. If you've lent into it, and if you haven't, hey, maybe you skip the Anomaly support. And then I think they're gonna wait until we've had like 3-4 limited S ranks, I would think, until we get an rupture support.
Mm-hmm.
Could be wrong.
Gotcha.
What do you think?
I don't think it would be anytime soon, but
Yeah.
hey, Hoyo's done some weird things in the past, so
Yeah, I mean they could
I can't know.
Yeah, they could just do it. I mean, they have the details of how well Yixuan sold across their player base, like how many players pulled Yixuan. So if they know that 75% of players who consistently play the game every day pulled Yixuan, then sure, maybe they don't need another rupture support in the game. Do you know what I mean? Like if they're looking at things on the back end that are like, oh, okay, well, actually, maybe we can move rupture support forwards, then maybe they can move rupture support forwards.
Definitely is interesting.
But again, I would imagine the rupture support would potentially, kind of like Astra, be, and like Yuzuha, like still pretty good in the attack-based and crit-based teams. And then, better than A-rank equivalents, but maybe not as good as Astra or Yuzuha at those specific things. And then really, really good at rupture. So it still makes sense.
Do we just like predict the kit now and say that it's future rupture agent, literally just 1200 attack buff, 15% damage bonus, and then I don't know, like 10% sheer force bonus or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean, you use your skill or something.
Yeah, maybe they would still do attack because then it would work for other rupture agents and not just Yixuan. But yeah, Interesting.
But
But just general
Yeah,
thoughts on Yixuan though. Like to play, I feel like we've bounced backwards and forwards all over the place. I don't know how I'm going to do the timestamps on this one, boys, but but just general thoughts on Yixuan. She is the most fun character to play.
Yeah, I 100% agree.
Yeah,
100% agree. She's so much fun.
absolutely.
A lot more fun than Miyabi, because since we're making the comparisons, but like a lot more involved, a lot more engaging to play than Miyabi.
True, but I would say that like the mono ice Miyabi stuff.
Okay, fair enough.
Is in
a
that's,
vacuum.
Yeah, like.
Yeah.
But are you really playing Miyabi there, or are you playing the team? Like you're playing
exactly.
the team.
Yeah.
I think with Yixuan, she's really fun to play just on her own. She's just,
in a vacuum.
in a vacuum on her own. She's super fun to play. Whereas if you, I don't know, like Yixuan can solo some of the end game content, like DA bosses. If it's beneficial for her at M0, and I did that a bit before I activated my Mindscapes, but and I could not see myself doing that with Miyabi like ever because it just wouldn't be that fun.
Like as solo Miyabi, right? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Because I would just be like, oh, okay, well, I'm just waiting for the attack to go off now. Whereas with Yixuan, I feel like you're constantly managing her stuff, and it's like that push and pull between the adrenaline and the technique points and stuff. And yeah, she's just so fun to play. Just gushing about Yixuan over here.
Like, listen, she has a reactive parry whenever you time the skill, so I'm sold. Like that's all you have to do.
Oh,
for me.
of course he brings up the parry.
The parry.
Shanaha gets wet for parries again.
Like the parry, and then you follow up with like the little swooping, and then you do the final skill, and then you do like the T pose. Dude, it's so good.
Beautiful. How do we feel about Jufufu?
She is a solid agent. I think she's incredible with Yixuan. And outside of Yixuan, she's just a solid replacement for a lot of teams.
Yeah, I think that's fair. What about you, Shanna?
Yeah, how do I word this? She's by no means like she pales in comparison to like what Yixuan did to the game. She she's no like trigger or anything like that. I think she's, as Katie says, she's just a good S rank stunner. She doesn't really introduce something that like makes you go, wow, that's brand new. Like she's very much like the side character of the patch. But as a personality, as character, I love Jufufu. Just like the waifu part instead of the meta part, I love her. She's great.
Great. Yeah, I think for me, I think I was maybe expecting a little bit more from Jufufu. I think, yeah, she's great with Yixuan, but it just doesn't feel like she fits anywhere else. And I think that's okay.
I think, yeah.
I
think I know why.
Why?
So her team passive is, as you said, it's basically just for Yixuan. The whole, okay, cool, extra 1,000 decibel cap, so you don't have to worry about like, oh, I'm missing out. When you hold into ultimate, and also getting I think it's 400 decibels back. It really only matters when you have Yixuan that has 2 ultimates. Otherwise, like Jufufu's whole buff and all the stuff that she does is all off field, and like you don't actively use her. It's the same issue that I have with Astra, where Astra's buffs is you press her skill and then you forget about her. Jufufu is kind of similar in that she activates her buff when she does a chain attack. How do you get the chain attack? She just has to attack enemies. She doesn't even have to attack herself. Her little Huey Potkin attack. Okay. So like I remember I timed it. Like depending on how often the enemy moves, you could literally never switch to Jufufu at all, and she will just do all of her buffs herself. Like you won't. Okay, yes, you'll miss out on some of the the days when you switch to her and use her EX skill, but technically speaking, you could not touch Jufufu at all, and you would still get the benefit from her chain attack, her buff that she provides, the increased decibels, and I think that's a big reason why she doesn't seem like impactful or like she's doing anything, at least in my opinion.
Because you're just leaving her alone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the gameplay for Jufufu is what? You switch to her, you use her EX skill, and then you switch back to somebody else. Like that's it. That's the Jufufu loop. Maybe I'm just playing her wrong, but to me, it's like that's mostly how you're playing with her.
Yeah, I kind of get it. Yeah, maybe that's why she feels less impactful, is because I'm not really playing her. But I remember pulling her and thinking like, oh, this is gonna make my Yixuan team like so much better. And maybe initially on like the first few runs after I'd pulled her and just shoved a bunch of stuff on her, she just wasn't, hitting as well as she should. But it was just like a very minor upgrade over Trigger.
Yeah, I think that's also the other big issue. Like Trigger is like
Trigger was still great.
also
Yeah.
pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah.
What? I don't know if is your Fufu, was she built correctly?
No, she
I
wasn't.
can't really
She wasn't. Yeah.
I can't really agree with that because
Yeah, I
she
think
should be a pretty sizable upgrade over Trigger.
Yeah, I think the thing is that I kind of expected her as a character to carry it a little bit more, as opposed to needing, the King of the Summit set and having enough crit rate for that, and also like a buttload more attack. So yeah, I think it was like a subpar build, and that initial impression I had of Jifufu was just like, oh, she's kind of just the same. But yeah, after building her, she did get better, obviously, but it still kind of left me with a little bit of a I don't know how to explain it, but it still left me feeling a little bit like Trigger was fine. I could have just stuck with Trigger.
Yeah. Like I don't want to call it like buyer's remorse, but yeah, like you probably realize like, well, did you really need to get Jufufu now? You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah. I like Jufufu as a character. I'm glad that I pulled for her, but yeah, like from a like raw, just playing with my Yixuan team. It functionally doesn't feel any different, I guess, from Trigger because they function very similarly. And yeah, Trigger was already doing a really good job. So maybe, to be honest, maybe lesson learned, honestly, is that I probably could have saved those pulls, but we are where we are. Were you gonna jump on me though, Kete?
No, I just know for a fact like M0 Fufu compared to M0 Trigger, you should be getting like 10k plus more score if you're playing it really, really, really well.
Yeah, well, I obviously wasn't playing it really, really well. This is me we're talking about. But I will say that it's probably around 10k more now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's just very good character with Yixuan.
She's fine.
Outside of Yixuan, she's just a solid replacement. I think she's actually pretty solid with Evelyn. If you don't have lighter.
Yeah, that's true. I don't have lighter, so to be honest, maybe I just put Trigger back on my Yixuan team and put Jufufu over there.
That is definitely an option.
Yeah.
I really don't know what else to say about Fufu. Like she's a good character, but she's just not like insanely like crazy.
Yeah.
I think she's incredible with Yixuan, by far best in slot. But other than that, like, yeah, you can skip. Like what? I don't really know what else to say about Fufu.
No, that's fine. Like, you don't have to say anything more. I did. Yeah, I think we're wrapped up on Fufu. Anything else we want to talk about? Season 2 overall. How do we feel about the explory parts?
I don't know if I'm gonna get hated for this, but I'm not a fan.
It's your opinion. But, why?
I'll be honest. I've not gone and explored at all, and except for the times where like they force you to because it's like part of a mission. I'm like, I never think to myself, ooh, time to go and run around the Hollow Zero or in the Hollow. Let's see what treasures we can find today.
Yeah.
Like it's
I'm trying not to give my opinion so that you can give your opinion.
Like, so remember the big complaint early on was that, oh, I don't like that the TVs are like cutting up I just want to fight, you know. I don't want the TVs to cut up the thing. And then, you know, they're like, well, okay, fine, we'll remove the TV, so you just go straight to the action. But now it feels like they kind of brought it back again, because now it's like, okay, well, you've done the action, now go find the next spot and, you know, traverse the area to find the thing. How do I word it? It's like they took the loading screens and they turned it into just traveling, you know, in this Hollow.
Yeah, I mean, that's a fair comment. Kete, how do you feel?
I have barely done it, and it's not that I hate it, just a lot of time I forget about it, and then some other times I'm tired and I just don't want to do it. But I definitely don't hate it. It's not something that I dislike. I just don't do it a lot.
No, I think that's fair. I think I'm not I'm not as passionate about it as Shanaha, but I do kind of agree with what he's saying to a point. I think, to be honest, when they first announced it, I was a little bit concerned, because I was thinking to myself, well, you know, I enjoy playing Zenless Zone Zero because I like, you know, getting in and out. It's quick and it's easy. I can hop in, I can do a few fights, I can spend my battery charge and I can leave. And then I just wasn't looking forward to the explory parts. But then when I actually did them, they were pretty short. there's not that much to do. You can run around and grab some of the stuff.
Okay.
I think I still haven't done some of the extra commissions that you can do in there, but I've pretty much run around and found all of the chests, I think, and it didn't take me very long. It was there's only like 3 areas. It's not that crazy. There might be more.
If it didn't take that long, why put it in? Why put it on all this effort? Why make this big hoopla for something that gets done in like what? I don't know how long it took you, but like, why make all this big hoopla about something that gets cleared in like 20, 30 minutes and then you never touch it again, right? Because you've gone, you've explored it, you've cleared everything, right? You're not gonna go back in and be like, let's see what's happening in the hollow, you know?
Yeah, I think the idea was like to adapt the gameplay a little bit so that they had something that was a little bit meatier or that you would spend more time on than just fighting. But the problem is that the enemies that you run into, like especially when you have like well-built endgame teams, you just run up to them and they're just immediately dead, essentially. And then it just feels like it's just filler. I do get what you mean when you say they're loading screens. Like it does feel a bit fillery. And
at least you're doing something, yeah, I guess.
Yeah, but it may be just an excuse to play a little bit more Zenless Zone Zero with a few extra rewards. I'm not hugely against it because, again, as I said, I thought there was going to be way bigger. I thought it was going to take a lot longer to go through all of it. But the fact that it took me, I don't even know, maybe hour or two, that was fine. I was like, yeah, it was fine. It wasn't the most fun I've had with Zenless Zone Zero. You know, it wasn't, but. You know, I guess for a more casual player, they might enjoy that more as opposed to, running the same DA boss like for an hour to try and get a slightly higher score. But, maybe we just don't play like regular people play. I don't know. So, yeah, I kind of agree with both of you is what I'm saying. But, yeah, I'm glad it's not any longer than it is.
Yeah.
Any other thing?
Overall?
Yeah, like anything else about Season 2? What were you going to say? Like overall about Season 2?
Yeah. Do we talk about the Dragon Warrior?
Oh, you mean the Dragon Disappointment?
Bro, stop it. You're going to break my heart. I don't know.
Why?
Hey, I wish. Because I was so hyped for him, right? Because, he's like the Dragon Warrior, Poe. Yeah. And then, like, bro, playing him, he's just not fun.
Yeah, I was excited for him too, but... Yeah,
I think I would have more fun if I tried him as like a DPS. Maybe that's what I need to do. Just try him as a DPS. But as a support, what is bro doing? I understand he's buffing. I'm not saying he's not doing his job. He definitely does his job for Yixuan, but I don't know. He feels worse to play than an Aftershock agent. And like
brutal.
And bro, like when he's doing like his kung fu. After you switch off of him and he stays on field and he's throwing hands, you know how demoralizing it is seeing him hit for like the triple digits?
You just gotta build him.
How much more I gotta build him?
Yeah, you gotta start building up that crit now. You got the attack. You gotta start building this crit.
Man's over here doing some jujutsu and the enemy's health bar is just not moving.
Yeah, I was really excited for him as well, and yeah, he has felt a little bit. I mean, he was an A rank. He wasn't a free A rank, but like he was on Yixuan's banner, so I think most people who got Yixuan got him as well, which is good because he's a rupture support, and like Yixuan can clear on her own, but you might as well chuck Panda with her, just make it a little bit easier. But yeah, he's I kind of just wish that he had a bit more flexibility, that he could do a little bit more. I think if you build him in certain ways, he can, but he doesn't, exactly like you said, Kete, he doesn't feel fun to play. What about you, Shanna? How do you feel about the Dragon Warrior?
Dude, like, I feel like, as a support, I feel like, well, I say support defender, like, his role is to support Sheer Force, right? Or Rupture Agents.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like, aside from just the numbers and stuff, so the funny thing that Kete mentioned is, when his whole mechanic is that use EX skill, and then he gets 3 charges of the Skadoosh attack, right? And then you switch off, and then he does those 3 attacks.
Yeah.
The thing that just confuses, like, I don't know what they were thinking with him. Like, the buff that he gives lasts 30 seconds. That's pretty decent. Okay, cool. Well, I think it's 30 seconds. Nobody knows. Who's going to correct me? I can say whatever I want. They won't know.
No one paid attention.
So, let's say I lost 30 seconds, okay? So you think, oh, you would think that you would want to try and like keep that high buff uptime. So he has 3 of these attacks to, refresh the buff. So, space them out. Do one, waited 20 seconds, then do another one. Waited 20 seconds, do another one. No, brother just throws all 3 out. So like, okay, cool. And then now you have to sit and wait for him to regenerate his energy to refresh the buff. It's like, I don't know what the point is of that. Like, I don't know. I saw that and I was just like dumbfounded. Like, managing his buff sounds so annoying. Like, if you actually try and play him as a support, then I'm like, what is the point?
Bless him. Poor Dragon Warrior. I was ripping him to pieces.
You leave my Dragon Warrior alone.
Okay, I mean, are we really being that mean to the Dragon Warrior? Are we just telling the truth? It's actually also 25 seconds, by the way. But...
Stop it! Stop it!
Stop it! I can't handle the truth.
He's doing his best. you leave him alone, you bastards.
Any other business about season 2?
What did we miss?
I don't know.
Story?
Oh, sure. I mean, if you want.
Sure. Talk about story. I don't mind.
Sure. Shanaha, what happened in the story?
So, TLDR, tops come in and they're running this thing. It's kind of similar to what Hugo was doing, where they have all these workers going to the hollow, and there's this one guy that's like, oh, well, I have this medicine for you. It'll help. It's actually fake medicine, snake oil, whatever. And it looks like Tops is the bad guys because the guy's framing it and saying, oh, Tops is like withholding this medicine from you. Take my medicine instead. He's the one selling snake oil. It turns out, people realize this and like, oh, wait, Tops are actually not the bad guy, ? And instead it's this random rogue like medical doctor or whatever. So let's go and like, and then they all start reacting because whatever, it's like they have this ether reaction because it's, random nonsense. And then Yixuan has to place a bunch of talismans everywhere and then cleanses everyone. And the whole, the reason why I sighed and like why I'm not really annoyed, but like we were advertised this whole thing of faith in will unlock our potential. We will discover new abilities. We did nothing this patch. We did learn how to clear away blockages in the road, I guess, with our ether eyes. That's it.
Oh, yeah.
That was the culmination of all of our training. The training, by the way, was literally just us standing around, closing our eyes, and then Yixuan touches our back or something like that to unlock our meridians, whatever that means. And then, yeah, spoiler alerts, I guess. We take on the Miasma Priest, but then it turns out that Yixuan's sister is somehow like they're reviving her or something, or they're like reanimating her or something like that. So stay tuned until next time. But yeah, honestly, this was just like, it feels like it was just a big setup patch, which I mean, it is. It's the first part of the season, but like there was a lot of setup, not a lot of wow. I mean, there was the one scene where, Yixuan cleanses everyone or whatever, but like, okay. There was no big fight. I guess there was the fight against the Miasma Priest, but like, that's just a deadly assault fight essentially. Like, there's no...
Yeah, I kind of forgot, to be honest, what happened. So I'm glad that you reminded me, and now that you have reminded me, I agree. But I think the thing is that towards the end of last patch, it felt like everything was a bit fillery, if I'm honest. The 1.6, 1.7, it felt like it was building up to something that just never happened. And then we get to season 2, and it's still that same sentiment with the story. Or at least that's how I feel about it, is that it feels like it's going somewhere, but we're not there yet. And I guess ultimately it's a gacha game. It's designed to keep us kind of engaged in a way where it's like, oh, I want to see where this is going. But I'd just love to have a bit of like, just like a huge payoff section. Like 1.4. 1.4 was the last time we had a huge payoff, I guess. And yeah, I don't know. Kate, what about you? What do you think? He left the room while we were talking about the story. Yeah.
You kind of like said most of the things I was gonna say. I'm trying to think of something else. I'm actually very curious of the Spook Shacks interaction coming next patch.
Yeah,
I'm so glad you brought that up. That was something I wanted to touch, but yeah.
Yeah, I think some of the character interactions are something that, to be honest, Zenless has always done pretty well. And yeah, I'm excited. Like, I think Spook Shack feels like a different vibe to Yonkai Summit. And I do think that Yonkai Summit is a little bit, forgive me for saying, but boring. Not necessarily in a bad way, you know. Yeah, Jufufu's cute, but Yixuan is so straight laced.
Yeah.
But she can be a little bit funny sometimes. As a faction, yeah, they haven't really gripped me. Let's put it that way.
I think they're too perfect. I think that's the issue. Like they're the savior of the White Fate Peninsula. Oh, we must praise them. Like all the different factions have their thing. You know, Cunning Hairs is like the Cunning Hairs. They just screw everything up. Like it makes them endearing. Bellabog Industries is they have a mad president and they have a obsessed mechanic, a crazy dude bro guy. Victoria Housekeeping, it's a bunch of monsters. You know, Rena has this random stuff. Like Lycan is like the father trying to keep this falling household together with all these, like the slacker, the hopeless girl, the maid that can't cook or whatever. Section 6, Yanagi's trying to handle everyone, you know, the child Sokaku, the like the slacker Haramas, all that stuff. Like Waifu Peninsula, or Yunkui Summit are just like like there's nothing to fault. Like they're just so boringly average, if I could put it like that.
Brutal.
But that's why I'm glad that Kete mentioned it. 2.1, Spook Shack obviously is going to get involved, which is going to be interesting. And what I am very curious about is, so remember in season 1, it was every odd numbered patch always felt like a side story, a separate thing, you know? Like 1.1 was that whole Jane arc, which had nothing really to do with the main story.
Oh yeah.
1.3 was the Yanagi arc, which for the most part didn't really have to do much. Like, I guess you could say that was where Sarah got like the Miyabi DNA or whatever, but like Phaethon didn't get involved. There was no interaction with other stuff. 1.5 was completely separate, you know, the whole Astra stuff. I'm curious to see if 2.1 is gonna, you know, follow a similar thing where, you know, it's only like main story relevant every other patch. Because if it is like that, where 2.1 is now like a whole separate thing, then man, that makes that sentiment of 2.0 so much worse. Because now it's not even like, you know, let's say 2.0 happens and like we said, we feel sort of like nothing. We're not on edge for what's happening next, and then we only do end up seeing what's next, not even in 2.1, but only in 2.2 only. So
yeah,
I'm curious to see, you know, if 2.1 is going to be the whole side story, or if they're going to like expand on what we had now in 2.0 in this next patch. That's my thoughts.
interesting. Yeah, I think, and maybe you were going to go in this direction as well, but I think for me, those odd number patches were always carried by the characters, and some of them better than others. Like, and like I really enjoyed the 1.5 patch because I think Astra and Evelyn are great. I think they're great characters. But I think as we head into 2.1, I'm actually really interested in how Spook Shack interact with each other. So I am excited to see them from a character perspective, because it does feel a little bit from the trailers and stuff that the Yuzuha and Alice might be not necessarily the closest of friends, but it feels like that they kind of might build a bit of a bond throughout 2.1, because they feel like they're very different characters, you know? So I'm excited to see their interactions and you know, potentially a little bit of tomfoolery. Why? Why did I say that? I don't know. But yeah, like maybe Yuzuha plays a little prank on her. You know, we saw that in the season 2 trailer.
Oh yeah.
You know, and then you know she gets annoyed at her, but then they're friends deep down. Yeah, I'm down. I'm in for it. You know, like give me anime slice of life.
Little slice of life section. Yeah.
Give me anime slice of life. Let's go. Carry it with the characters. Keti, was that where you were going?
Oh yeah, I'm extremely excited about Spook Shack's interaction with each other. I want to see more of Alice and Yuzuha's dynamic, and I want to see how doesn't your girlfriend call him Tomato? Tomato.
Yeah, she can't say his name, and that's why I had to ask Shanaha what his name was earlier, because she calls him Tomato or something like that. She's like, it's all the same, but she's very excited for him. Anyway, what were you gonna say, Kate?
Yeah, I'm actually curious to see what he's gonna do, because I remember when I first saw him, I was not interested in him at all, but now that entire faction has me interested to see. Because like they seem like they could be one of those goofball factions, but at the same time also like they can potentially get serious when they need to. Yeah.
On the subject of the faction, and maybe drifting away from the story a little bit, though, what do we think? Tomato. The guy. What do we think what do you think he could do? Do we think that he might work with Yuzuha and Alice. So maybe
I
like
have no.
another quick swap anomaly or something would be my guess if that was the case.
I actually have no idea what he's gonna do. You want me to be
idea.
completely honest with you?
I think that's fair. Yeah. I think the only reason that I'm saying that is because I'm like, well, how would he work with Alice and Yuzuha if we're going to put them together? What about you, Shanna? What do you think?
Assuming that he does like work with them, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean,
same faction and everything.
yeah, we've had factions where they, it's not always obvious how they're supposed to work together. Like Sons of Kaladin is a very obvious one, but yeah, he doesn't have to work with them, I guess. But I think what they have done recently though is they've moved away from having the faction wording in the additional abilities.
Yeah,
but
nice.
Yuzuha specifically does have that. So that I'm pretty sure she does. Hang on, I can check. I could be wrong. Oh, it's loading. Yeah, anomaly character or shares the same faction. Maybe a defense character that buffs anomaly in some way, kind of like Seth, maybe.
Goodness.
Yeah.
Surely this time they'll get it right with this defense character.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about what else he would do that would support that team, or maybe he doesn't work with them at all, and I'm just going in the wrong direction completely.
I mean, he could be first male anomaly, maybe.
Yeah, but if you put an anomaly, you put a male anywhere, and they'll be like the first or second.
Yeah.
I mean, this is true.
Yeah. Any other thoughts, though, fam?
That's all for me. I think I'm good.
Yeah, I think this is a good chat. It's nice to catch up. Anything else from you, Shanaha, before we wrap up?
Play Uma Musume.
Oh, yeah. I have been playing it. It's been great. Kete, when are you playing it?
Bruh.
I'm waiting.
Bruh.
Come on. When are you playing it?
Why do you want me to play it so bad?
Because it's really fun. And I want to talk with you about horses.
Dog, I've gone down the loop, the rabbit hole. Like I mentioned to Gamer, but like the other day at work, I was just sitting at my desk and I was reading up on the actual IRL horses that they were based off of.
Oh my god, bros in deep. Yeah, I'm not that deep. I'd probably only do like one career a day because they do take some time.
They do take a while, yeah.
Yeah, and you can do 3. That seems like too much.
Essentially, yeah.
Yeah. That's too much time for me to spend on it. I did win with Haru on my phone last night, by the way.
Let's go.
I know, wild. But enough of that. Kete, you should play the horse game. But should we wrap up? Shanaha, where can people find you and check out your stuff?
You can find me on YouTube at Shanaha and also Twitch as well, Shanaha_VT. Otherwise, you can occasionally find me here on Losing 50 whenever we remember to upload videos. And also, I do have a TCG channel if you do like Pokemon TCG, which is just Shanaha TCG.
Nice. Kete?
Kete the 7th, stream a lot, almost daily videos. Yeah, play a lot of Zenless. Come and hang out.
Nice. And I've been Average That Gamer, and yeah, you should come hang out on my channel too. But more importantly, you should also drop a like and subscribe to this channel right here, Losing the 50. We're gonna upload more consistently. We promise.
We're gonna break that promise.
Yeah, and if that's the case, then yeah, you should just come hang out. Average That Gamer on YouTube and Twitter.
That's why you should subscribe to this channel and click the bell so that when we do upload, you do get notified. Exactly.
We remembered the password. New episode next week. No, I'm joking. It'll probably be 2 weeks away. It'll probably be at least 2 weeks. But anyway, thanks very much for watching, everyone. Bye. I say goodbye, everyone.
Bye.